Hello, I'm Rachel, shamanic intuitive transformational coach and energy worker. I help people who are feeling stuck in unhealthy patterns to help them live a life with passion and with purpose so that they are then a powerful force of strength, courage and confidence. I know just how difficult it is to make changes or even consider making changes when you're feeling anxious, depressed, burnt out and exhausted. And this is where I can help with my one-to-one coaching programs, group coaching programs, events and retreats. My purpose is to be an enabler, sharing my wisdom and giving people the safe, sacred space that they need to make significant, lasting life changes. With my proven life-changing tools through transformational coaching, combining this with shamanic principles, practices, and healing modalities. And I help people awaken their limitless higher potential, igniting their powerhouse, and move forward with divine soul-driven purpose, replacing fear with faith, replacing weakness with strength, and replacing internal struggle with confidence to effectively claim their life back in just 3 months so that they can be more, do more and have more, and then to fully embody their inner warrior in order to break through all that holds them back. So are you ready to take your first step towards a happier, healthier and fulfilled and more conscious way of living? Well, Pura Vida Your Life, it all starts with you. So this video is about, are you overindulging in unhelpful ways? And I'm going to go through that in more detail in just a moment. And I'm also going to share with you 3 golden gifts and deeper wisdom to improve your life straight away. And they are: number 1, inventory your life. Number 2, find the deeper meaning. And number 3, mind your language. So moderation is the key to a healthier, happier and balanced life. There are so many gains from healthy moderation. And I know this from personal experience. You see, I was that person who couldn't go to sleep at night without doing my evening workout. And when it came to cake, I couldn't have just one slice of cake, as I'd want to continue eating it all until the whole cake had gone. And don't even get me started on the wine. I was one of those people who couldn't just have one glass of wine once that bottle had opened. I was that person who was trapped between 2 worlds of either excess or deprivation. However, what I have learned since then is that with moderation, I can start to live a healthier, happier and balanced life. So when we think about it, electronics, clothes, indulgent foods, our days are filled with ever-increasing forms of consumption. And perhaps we do it to cope with our busyness or numb ourselves from the stress and anxiety of life. And maybe we're just enticed with the images that surround us from the advertising and social media. But if we don't challenge these influences and impulses, we end up overeating, overdrinking, over-exercising, binge watching, or buying things that we just don't really need. We can adopt a new way of living life with a healthy approach to moderation, based on a deep sense of self-awareness. And to start with really acknowledging our excesses, and then really mindfully recognizing the difference between need and want. So here is the key. Listen very carefully. Once we recognize why and how we overconsume, we can then focus on what we will gain rather than what we will lose by changing our habits. And then with this new mindset, moderation isn't a constraint on our wishes or our pleasures, but rather a source of balance, health, and peace. But of course, it takes a lot of effort and it takes time. So it's important to face your excesses with patience and compassion, especially if we slip up, which we all do from time to time. We are only human after all. So the next time you have the urge to watch or to shop or to feast, stop for a moment and ask, is this a need or is this a want? So imagine the peace of mind you'll gain if you invest your afternoon in an activity that's truly meaningful. Consider the money that you'll save when your mental monthly budget prioritizes needs over indulgences. Think of the extra space you'll have in your home without the clutter. Mindful moderation helps us to create contentment as we reap the benefits in it of increased health, savings, and wisdom. Everything on this world is good, and when enjoyed in small doses, even in the only apparent benefit is the joy that it brings you at that time and nothing else, then that's fine. So if you're going to indulge in something, make sure that you do it with glee and not guilt. So eat that cake and enjoy it. Drink that glass of wine and savor it. Buy that thing you've been wanting to treat yourself, but really take that time to enjoy it. And this is very important for your mental state. The prolonged time of deprivation is a sure way to feel horrible and can even lead to overindulgences in the future. And believe me, I've been there. So a great way to find more happiness in your life is with my 3 golden gifts and deeper wisdom. But before I start those, here's a new splash. Despite what you've been taught, you have no needs except for food, water, shelter, air, and human connection. So just think about that for a second. Nobody has died from failing to get what he or she wants, and that includes any success of any kind. Affection from whomever, approval from whomever, and yes, even the latest iPhone. Sure, there's disappointment, there's frustration, there's sadness when we don't get what we want, but devastation only results when we think we need or must have and can't live without what we want. So my golden gift number 1 is inventory your life. So figure out what you have concluded are your must-haves, your have-tos, and your needs. And write a list for each 3 of those. And take your time over this and just keep writing until you draw a complete blank, until you feel you can't write anymore. You might have to do this in a couple of settings. So, do it once and then have a break, come back to it. And my deeper wisdom here is pay special attention to situations about which you think you absolutely must do and not fail. Pay special attention to people whose love and approval you've determined you need. Pay special attention to things and conditions you believe you must possess. So my golden gift number 2 is find the deeper meaning. So take your 3 lists, as we've just spoke about, and take each one of them in turn and remind yourself that while desired, they are not needed. And then run those conclusions through these statements. Your life will not end without them. There are other things in your life that provide pleasure besides them. They are replaceable. Your worth does not equal them. And my golden gift number 3 is mind your language. Make a habit of not using any of the need words or phrases. So that's need, got to, have to, must, should. So my deeper wisdom around this is really observe yourself with intention to change your old habits and stop yourself. Even if you find yourself in mid-sentence, just stop yourself, pause, and instead use words such as want, like to, desire, hope for, prefer, and it would be better if. Our language is very, very powerful, and it's feedback for our own thoughts and processes and actions. So let's summarize those golden gifts again. Inventory your life. Find the deeper meaning. Mind your language. You see, it's your job and your responsibility to create as much happiness for yourself as you can. And this requires two things of you. Number one is to be aware of what brings you happiness, allowing yourself to want what that is with all of your heart and striving mightily to bring it into reality. And number two, while fully wanting what you want, never ever convince yourself that it is life or death to have it. So it's great to have the passion and the desire to want something, but put it into some sort of context that it's not going to leave you feeling empty and disappointed. So by living both of these principles, you can give yourself the absolute best chance of providing yourself with the pleasures that you want without ever experiencing devastation should you fail. So take care and pay attention to what you feel you need in life. And seeking support from a coach could be just the thing that you need to do differently to finally find the peace that you've been seeking. I know just how difficult it is to make those changes when you are feeling frustrated, confused, lack clarity, but then this is where I can help. So if you'd like to book a call with me, then drop me a message and we can arrange that. And just as a reminder, I help overwhelmed and unfulfilled people replace their fear with faith, replace their weakness with strength, and replace internal struggle with confidence to effectively claim their life back in just 3 months. So are you ready to take your first step towards a happier, healthier, and fulfilled and more conscious life? Well, thank you for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you again for next week's Pura Vida Your Life happenings for insight, inspiration, and more golden nuggets with deeper wisdom to help you live a happier, healthier, and more conscious life. So until then, remember, Pura Vida Your Life, it all starts with you. So until next time, Pura Vida.